Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the explosive and emotional new storyline unfolding in CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful. This time, the drama revolves around Liam, Steffy, and Finn, three characters tied together by love, history, and betrayal. What began as a quiet effort to keep a serious medical condition private soon spirals into heartbreak, secrets, and the unraveling of a marriage. Liam had been struggling silently. After being diagnosed with a brain tumor, he made the difficult decision to keep his illness hidden from most of the people in his life. He didn't want pity, and he didn't want his family to treat him differently. But he knew he couldn't face this alone. So he turned to two people he trusted, Steffy, the mother of his child and someone he had once loved deeply, and Finn, her husband, who was also a respected doctor. He asked for their help, and they agreed to take him in while keeping his condition a secret. It made sense on the surface. Finn could monitor Liam's symptoms at home without raising suspicion, and Steffy could help with the day-to-day care. They all believed they were doing the right thing. But they underestimated the emotional consequences of this arrangement. Liam moved into the guest room of Steffy and Finn's home. At first, things were manageable. Finn balanced work at the hospital with discreet checkups on Liam's condition. Steffy cooked meals, helped Liam rest, and kept their daughter Kelly distracted. But as the days turned into weeks, something began to shift. The house was filled with old memories. Liam had once lived there with Steffy and Kelly during happier times. The photographs, the furniture, even the scent of the place, it all came rushing back. And for Steffy, caring for Liam again stirred a deep nostalgia. She remembered the man who had been by her side during Kelly's earliest days, the man who once made her feel like the center of his world. One evening, it rained. Finn was called in for an emergency surgery at the hospital, and Steffy and Liam were left alone with a bottle of wine and a conversation that slowly slipped into familiar, emotional territory. They reminisced about Kelly as a baby, their first Christmas together in that house, and the moment they once believed they would be a family forever. Then, in a quiet pause between words, Liam leaned in. Steffy didn't pull away. The kiss was soft, hesitant, but charged with everything they hadn't said aloud. Moments later, they crossed a line they could never take back. It wasn't just a kiss. They made love, driven by memory, guilt, confusion, and vulnerability. Neither of them spoke immediately after. The silence said enough. They had betrayed not just Finn, but everything they had tried to rebuild as friends and co-parents. And that betrayal didn't stay secret for long. Finn came home earlier than expected. The lights were dim, the house quiet. As he stepped into the bedroom, he saw them, Steffy and Liam, tangled in sheets, asleep in each other's arms. The sight stopped his heart. Rage, disbelief, and pain flooded through him. He slammed the door, waking them both. Steffy gasped. Liam jumped up, stammering for words. But it was too late. Finn's face twisted in hurt. He had welcomed Liam into his home. He had risked his marriage to help a man in need. And this was how they repaid him. Finn didn't yell. His voice was cold and sharp. "Get out," he told Liam. "Get out of my house." Liam tried to explain, mentioning the illness, the confusion, the past. But Finn had heard enough. To him, this wasn't just about a one-time mistake. It was about trust that was shattered. Steffy begged Finn to stay, to let her explain. "It was a mistake," she cried. "It wasn't planned. I still love you. I've never stopped loving you." But Finn was devastated. "If this is love," he said, "why does it feel like betrayal?" He moved out the next morning. Steffy watched him go, her heart breaking. Kelly asked questions Steffy didn't know how to answer. Liam, now living alone again, spiraled further into guilt and emotional turmoil. His health continued to decline, and without Finn monitoring him regularly, the symptoms became more difficult to manage. Steffy tried to fix things. She called Finn, sent messages, even went to the hospital. But Finn avoided her. He buried himself in work, trying to outrun the pain. He spoke to Ridge and Taylor, who were both shocked and disappointed. Ridge, in particular, confronted Liam with fury. "You betrayed my daughter's marriage," he said. "You used your illness as an excuse." But Brooke, who learned about Liam's diagnosis and the circumstances, defended him. She said Liam was human, scared, vulnerable, and not thinking clearly. "He didn't do this to hurt anyone," Brooke said. "He made a terrible mistake." But so did Steffy. As the days passed, Steffy filed for joint counseling. She begged Finn to attend. Reluctantly, he agreed to one session. There, in the therapist's office, the pain between them poured out. Finn spoke of the betrayal, the humiliation, the loss of respect. Steffy spoke of the confusion, the flood of emotions, and the guilt she felt every minute of the day. But at the end of the session, Finn admitted something Steffy hadn't expected: he still loved her. "I just don't know if I can ever trust you again," he said. Meanwhile, Liam's condition worsened. He collapsed during a walk with Kelly and was rushed to the hospital. Finn, despite everything, was the one who treated him. He kept his professionalism, but the coldness in his eyes was undeniable. Doctors determined that Liam's tumor had grown. Surgery was now necessary. It was risky, with no guarantee of success. Liam, lying in a hospital bed, finally confessed to his father Bill what he had been hiding. Bill was furious, not just about the illness, but about the betrayal. "You should have come to me first," he said. "Not your ex. Not her husband." As Liam faced surgery, Steffy stayed by his side. Not because of romance, but because of guilt, compassion, and a shared history. She held his hand and told him to fight. For himself. For Kelly. Finn watched from a distance, conflicted. His heart was torn between his anger and his memory of the woman he fell in love with. He didn't know what came next, but he knew that nothing would ever be the same. Liam survived the surgery, but recovery would be long. The experience humbled him. He apologized to Finn again, this time with no excuses. He asked for forgiveness, not reconciliation. "You were the better man," Liam said. "And I broke that." Finn didn't reply. He simply walked away. Steffy, meanwhile, began rebuilding her life. Not for Finn, not for Liam, but for herself. She focused on Kelly, on work, and on healing. She knew she might never get Finn back. But she hoped that one day, he would see that her love had been real, even if her actions were not. As for Finn, he remained distant but watchful. A man trying to piece together what remained of his dignity, heart, and trust. He hadn't filed for divorce yet. A part of him was still holding on. But for now, the silence between him and Steffy said everything. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, silence is never the end. It's just the calm before the next storm. Next, we will dive deep into the captivating journey of one of daytime television's most iconic actors, Don Diamont, and his unforgettable portrayal of Bill Spencer on The Bold and the Beautiful. Over the past 4 decades, Bill has evolved into a character synonymous with cunning schemes, ruthless ambition, and undeniable charisma. But behind the dramatic storylines lies a remarkable story of perseverance, gratitude, and mentorship that has shaped Diamant's illustrious career. In this expansive exploration, we'll uncover the origins of his soap opera legacy, the highs and lows of his roles, and the personal connections that have fueled his success. Buckle up for a detailed ride through the life and times of a true soap legend. The early days, a groundskeeper turned soap star. Don Diamant's entry into the world of daytime drama was anything but glamorous. Back in 1985, he landed his first major role as Brad Carlton on The Young and the Restless, a character who started as a humble groundskeeper and pool boy. With little more than a pair of hedge trimmers and cut-off shorts, famously known as Daisy Dukes, Diamant spent his initial months on set embodying the quintessential hunk archetype that soap operas often rely on to draw in viewers. Reflecting on those early days, Diamant has shared vivid memories of long hours under the sun, trimming imaginary hedges while delivering lines with conviction. "I knew I had to make every scene count," he once mused, aware that his chiseled physique alone wouldn't guarantee longevity in a cutthroat industry. This role, though modest in scope at first, became the foundation of a career that would span decades. Diamant understood the fleeting nature of early fame and threw himself into the craft with a seriousness that set him apart from mere eye candy. Over time, Brad evolved from a working-class dreamer into a savvy business executive, mirroring Diamant's own transformation into a powerhouse actor. It was a slow burn, but one that taught him the value of grit and adaptability, lessons that would later define his approach to every role. A mentor's impact, the William Belle legacy. Behind Diamant's ascent was a guiding hand that forever changed his trajectory, William Belle, the legendary creator of The Young and the Restless. It was Belle who took a chance on the young actor, casting him as Brad Carlton and giving him a platform to shine. Diamant often speaks with deep reverence about this opportunity, describing Belle as a visionary who saw potential where others might have overlooked it. In a heartfelt interview, Diamant revealed that he still cherishes handwritten letters from Belle, one of which assured him, "This show will always be a home for you." These words weren't just empty promises, they represented a bond of trust and encouragement that fueled Diamant's determination. Belle's mentorship extended beyond mere casting decisions. He provided insights into the art of storytelling and the nuances of soap opera drama, shaping Diamant into a performer who could balance raw emotion with calculated intensity. Even as Brad's character met a tragic end, Diamant felt a bittersweet acceptance, knowing that endings in soaps often pave the way for new beginnings. Belle's influence was a lighthouse in the stormy seas of showbiz, illuminating a path that Diamant continues to walk with pride. A new chapter, the birth of Dollar Bill Spencer. When Brad Carlton's story concluded, Diamant could have easily faded into the background of daytime television history. Instead, fate and family intervened in the form of Bradley Belle, William's son and the creative force behind The Bold and the Beautiful. Recognizing Diamant's unique blend of charm and intensity, Bradley crafted the role of Bill Spencer, affectionately dubbed Dollar Bill, specifically for him. This wasn't just a new character, it was a reinvention, a chance to explore uncharted territory as a ruthless media mogul with a penchant for manipulation. Diamant has often credited Bradley as his champion, a showrunner who believed in his ability to bring depth to a morally complex figure. From the moment Bill Spencer strutted onto the screen, viewers were captivated by his larger-than-life persona, part villain, part visionary. Diamant embraced the challenge, infusing Bill with a mix of suave confidence and dangerous unpredictability. Whether he was orchestrating corporate takeovers, engaging in blackmail, or even flirting with arson, remember the infamous Spectre Fashion's fire, Bill became a force of chaos that kept fans glued to their screens. Diamant's gratitude for this role is palpable. He often reflects on how Bradley's faith in him reignited his passion for acting at a time when uncertainty loomed large. The irony of names, a full circle moment. One of the most delightful quirks in Diamond's career is the serendipitous interplay of names that ties his journey together. Bill cast me as Brad, and then Brad cast me as Bill, he once quipped with a hearty laugh, highlighting the poetic symmetry of working under William Belle and then Bradley Belle to portray characters named Brad and Bill. This charming coincidence isn't just a fun anecdote, it underscores the profound personal and professional impact the Belle family has had on his life. William Belle gave him his start, laying the groundwork for a career that would captivate millions. Bradley Belle, in turn, offered a second act, reinventing Diamond as a character who could dominate storylines with sheer force of personality. This father-son duo didn't just shape Diamond's roles, they shaped his identity as an actor, instilling in him a sense of purpose and a drive to honor their trust. Every snarl, smirk, and scheme from Bill Spencer carries a silent nod to the Belles, a testament to the enduring legacy of their collaboration. Bill Spencer's legacy, a master of mayhem. Over the years, Bill Spencer has become a cornerstone of The Bold and the Beautiful, a character whose actions ripple through the lives of everyone around him. Diamond's portrayal is a masterclass in complexity. What other character could orchestrate a blackmail scheme one day and show unexpected vulnerability the next? Bill's resume of misdeeds is extensive. From bribing officials to outmaneuver rivals, to nearly committing murder in fits of rage, to setting fire to Spectre fashions in a bid for dominance. Yet, beneath the ruthless exterior lies a man driven by a fierce desire to protect his empire and family, often at any cost. Diamond has relished exploring these layers, diving into Bill's psyche to uncover the motivations behind his audacious moves. Fans have watched Bill evolve from a cold-hearted tycoon to a father grappling with his demons, a transformation that Diamond credits to the show's willingness to take risks with storytelling. Beyond the drama, Bill's signature style, sharp suits, piercing glares, and a penchant for dramatic entrances has made him a visual icon, one that Diamond embodies with effortless swagger. As Bill continues to scheme his way through Los Angeles, Diamond remains committed to pushing the character's boundaries, ensuring that every episode delivers a punch. A career built on gratitude and grit. Looking back on his journey, Don Diamond's story is one of resilience, reinvention, and profound gratitude. From his days as a shirtless pool boy to his reign as a soap opera titan, he has navigated the highs and lows of an unpredictable industry with unwavering determination. His longevity isn't just a stroke of luck, it's the result of hard work, a willingness to adapt, and the invaluable support of mentors like William and Bradley Belle. Diamond often speaks of the responsibility he feels to honor their belief in him, a drive that fuels every intense scene and heartfelt moment he brings to life as Bill Spencer. As he continues to captivate audiences with his portrayal of one of daytime TV's most dynamic characters, Diamond remains grounded in the lessons of his past, lessons of perseverance, humility, and the power of a well-timed scheme. For fans of The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill Spencer is more than a character, he's a symbol of the enduring magic of soap operas, brought to life by an actor whose passion shines through every line. Next, we will explore a tantalizing possibility that could turn the world of The Bold and the Beautiful upside down. Could Brooke Logan's true destiny lie not with Ridge Forrester, but with the Forrester patriarch himself, Eric Forrester? For years, fans have been conditioned to see Brooke and Ridge as the ultimate endgame, their love story etched into the fabric of the show through countless weddings, heartbreaks, and iconic flashbacks. But what if we'd been looking at this saga through the wrong lens? What if Brooke's heart has always been meant for a different Forrester, one who offered her stability long before the whirlwind of Ridge swept her away? In this in-depth dive, we'll unpack the layers of Brooke's history with Eric, imagine a fiery rekindling of their past, and ponder the explosive fallout that such a twist could unleash on the canvas of Los Angeles's most dramatic family. Let's dive into this soap opera scandal that could rewrite destiny itself. Brooks' first forester, the Forgotten Foundation. Long before Brooke Logan became synonymous with Ridge Forrester, there was another man who captured her heart and welcomed her into the illustrious Forrester fold, Eric Forrester, the family's revered patriarch. When Brooke first crossed paths with Eric, she was far from the powerhouse she is today, a young woman with big dreams, untamed ambition, and a hunger to make her mark in the cutthroat world of fashion. Eric saw something in her, a spark of potential that transcended her modest roots, and their romance blossomed into a marriage that shocked many at the time. Unlike the turbulent passion she later found with Ridge, Eric offered Brooke a quiet strength, a sanctuary of support that grounded her amidst life's storms. Their union wasn't just a stepping stone, it was a genuine partnership, one where Eric nurtured her talents and believed in her vision before she became a household name. Looking back, those stolen moments reveal a connection deeper than mere convenience. There were late-night conversations over design sketches at Forrester Creations, shared laughter during glamorous galas, and a mutual respect that laid the groundwork for Brooke's future. While their marriage eventually crumbled under the weight of external pressures, the echoes of that bond linger, a reminder of a time when Brooke felt truly seen by a Forrester who wasn't consumed by rivalry or drama. Destiny or detour, questioning the Bridge narrative. For decades, the narrative of Brooke and Ridge, affectionately dubbed Bridge by fans, has been sold as the ultimate love story on The Bold and the Beautiful. Their saga is a roller coaster of passion, betrayal, and reconciliations, punctuated by breathtaking wedding montages and tear-soaked confrontations. But what if this obsession with Bridge has blinded us to a more profound destiny waiting in the wings? What if Ridge, with all his charisma and complexity, is merely a detour on Brooke's path to true fulfillment? Eric Forrester, as her first husband, holds a unique place in her heart, a man who loved her without the baggage of constant competition or familial feuds that define her dynamic with Ridge. Imagine a scenario where Brooke, after years of chasing the elusive happily ever after with Ridge, begins to reflect on what truly matters. Perhaps during a quiet moment at the Forrester mansion, surrounded by memories of her early days, she catches Eric's knowing gaze across the room, a gaze that speaks of history, understanding, and an unspoken connection. This isn't about rehashing old flames for nostalgia's sake, it's about recognizing that sometimes, the person who anchors you isn't the one who sets your heart racing, but the one who holds it steady through every storm. Could Eric be the Forrester she was meant to return to all along? A vulnerable patriarch, Eric's Crossroads. Eric Forrester, the silver-haired titan of the fashion empire, has always been a pillar of strength for his family, but recent years have tested his resilience. Health scares, some of which have left viewers clutching their tissues, have forced Eric to confront his mortality, re-evaluating the choices that define his life. Currently married to Donna Logan, Brooke's own sister, Eric's personal life seems stable on the surface.